Hello Markham Gardens family, Daniel Markham here with the Markham Gardens. Guys, I wanted to bring you along today. We are doing a project at a client's house, and basically what it is she has got a slope in her garden that goes down to her dock. And you can see the dock is right back here, and she has got quite a slope here on the side of this hill that she wants to be able to put some steps basically down to the dock. There's some roots from trees and stuff that have been growing out across the walkway, and you know, she trips on it when she's going downhill. She also has an elderly parent, and that elderly parent has been unable to come down to the dock because the slope has been steep enough, and with all the roots, they just can't risk her getting hurt coming down here, which is totally understandable. So she has asked that I go ahead and put in a step system that goes down to the dock. Now, what I'm doing, guys, is I am using 4x4s, and I'm just going to kind of show you guys what the basics are of building this so that you guys can build one yourself. Now, I'm not going to show you step by step through every process. I might show you some highlights of it just so you get an idea of what we're doing so that you can do it yourself. But I'm not going to set you up and time lapse the whole thing or anything like that. So anyway, stick with me here. So what I'm doing, guys, is I am using 4x4s. And so let me show you here. So you can see here I am using, now these are not attached together, guys, at all. These are just sitting here. But what I'm doing is I'm using 4x4s, treated 4x4s. Make sure you use treated wood, guys, because some of this is going to be sunk into the ground. So you want to use ground contact treated wood. But I'm using 4x4s and I'm stacking them. So what ends up happening is I've got two down here. That is exactly 7 inches. So that is within our step range. You want basically anywhere from 8 inches to about 5 inches on your step. That's usually about the average area that you'd have on step height, so that you're used to stepping up them. Any taller than that and people will start having difficulty being able to get up them, especially the elderly parents. So anyway, what we've got here is I've put two 4x4s, one on top of the other. We have exactly 7 inches. And so what we're doing is we know that this is going to be our bottom landing, and we know that the next step coming up is going to be 7 inches higher. So what you want to do basically is, if you're building steps and you have 7 inches on this front half, or say 8 inches, or you know, say you want to go down to 5 inches, or say you even have 3 inches. What you want to do, guys, is you want to measure back into this soil, and whatever the distance is, so your slope as it's traveling up, you're going to want to dig down at the top of this step. You're going to want to dig down 7 inches. So right, we have a 7-inch step, and we want this to be perfectly level across here. So up here at the top half of this, you can see it just goes up there in the top half. So whatever that measurement is, on your slope, you're going to come up and you're going to dig down 7 inches. And you're going to want to lay your level in the bottom of that to make sure that that is level across there once you dig it. And I'll show you that guys, here in just a moment. And then you want to dig down to where your boards, 7 inches tall, when they go back into the ground, that the top of this board right here that you see, this top piece of this board, is level with the surface of your slope. Now, by doing that, guys, you're going to ensure that no matter how steep the slope is, whether the slope is straight up, whether it's shallow like this, if you will make sure that wherever you dig to, however far you dig back from the front of your steps, if this was a steeper slope, guys, and say it was angled up higher, and I had 7 inches here, I'm not going to have a board that long, right? I may only have the board come to here, and it would be 7 inches deep right here because it's a steeper slope. But instead, I was able to go a whole 48 inches out before I ran into that 7-inch depth back here. So basically what it is your front of your step, if it's 7 inches or 5 inches, whatever it is, guys, 7 inches in the front, you're going to want the back of that board to be 7 inches deep from the surface of your slope. If you'll do that, you'll make sure that the boards right here are buried perfectly so that you have a step that comes out flat, and then you can lay your next step in, right? So this next step, if you see here, I placed this next 7-inch board right on top of this bottom one. And you see it's also, because I dug only 7 inches deep, I only dug 7 inches deep here, that top of that board is level with the surface of the slope, which means my next 7 inches can sit right on top of that board and I'm level with the ground. And now I want to go in and I want to dig into this hill again, a depth of 7 inches. Now, wherever it is that that depth of 7 inches is, and is level with this point, level across there, wherever that goes a depth of 7 inches, that determines how long this board can be. I happen to have a pretty even slope, so I was able to do the same exact measurement, 48 inches again. And it was 48 inches from sitting on top of the level soil here, 48 inches into that board before I hit 7-inch depth and was level with the ground again at 7 inches. So that's how that works, guys. That's how you find out your slopes. Whatever slope you have, whatever depth it is, that's how you're going to find out how to make that level across there. You're going to have to dig in to the back side of that step as far as the height is of your step that you've got on the face. So what I'm going to do after that, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and take 2 more of these 4x4s and cap the ends of them. Now, I do not have the screws right now, but we're going to go ahead and take the screws and we're going to run them into the ends. We're going to run them into the top of both of these so that both of these are connected. And then we're going to do the same thing with these. And then up here at the top, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to screw into the top of these ones to make sure those are connected. I'm going to have 2 of them that cap up against the top of this. And those are going to be screwed into that main. And then before I finish doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom board of these 2 and I'm going to screw it into this board right here. So the board that caps, which is the same as this one, that bottom board that's on there, before I screw these 2 together, that bottom board is going to screw right down into the top of the back of this right here. That way it connects the top portion to the bottom portion and I'm nice and secure. Then we'll pack our soil back in around everything, make sure it's all solid. So let me come up here real quick, guys. Let me just show you kind of the tools that I'm using. So one of the easiest things to use, guys, is a trenching shovel. It's just about the perfect width for this. It gets the job done. I'm also using a reciprocating saw with a pruning blade. The reason why, guys, is I have got trees. You see, I've got trees all around here. So I've got roots that I am competing with. And so I'm using that pruning blade on that Sawzall to cut through those roots so that I can make these level. So I have already completed this one right here, guys. You can see I've come to the top of this one. My 7-inch tall step comes in and it is level with the ground down here. The top of this board right here is level with the ground right there. And so I did not dig down here. That was the natural dirt. That is the natural level. And then I dug into the side of this hill until I hit a depth of 7 inches. So that right there is 7 inches deep. And then what I did is, and I'm sorry about the wind, guys. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm sorry if you're getting lots and lots of wind noise, but then I pull out my level. My level happens to be 4 foot long as well, which happens to be the length of all of these steps that I'm building that are down through here, which kind of helps a little bit. But then I'm going to go ahead and take my level and I'm going to go ahead and set it in the dead center of this trench. And I'm going to set my other end of that level on the end of that board. And when I look at this, I should have level. Now this one I am going to have to eat out just a little bit more. If you'll look here, you can see, if you see, I've got that level is off. So if I lift this up, there you go. So I know if I look at this side, you see that gap? So that gap, I'm gonna have to dig down on the other end of this level that much, so almost an inch. So back here in this back section, I'm gonna have to dig another inch depth to get level on this side. Now let's take our level, we'll lay it on the other side. We've got one over here that I've already dug. We'll lay that one out. Again, we're gonna set it on our wood. We've got it to the back of that hole. We're gonna look down here. We're almost level, guys, almost. Just need to chew out just a little bit more on this back side and even it out all the way across, and we'll be good to go. Then once I've done that, guys, once I've gone ahead and laid it in here, now I'm gonna check my back area, make sure that we are in fact 7 inches at the end of my 48-inch board that's gonna go across here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and lay 2 of them in there. But that's how you do it, guys, and you will do that over and over. Now, if I came up here and I had this type of slope, and then right here at the end, all of a sudden it got steeper. It got a steeper slope. I wouldn't be able to have as big of a landing as this. So this is gonna be the landing that I would walk down on. This is the end of the step that goes across here, just like that one. I wouldn't be able to have as big of a landing as this. That landing would shorten. You'll get a smaller landing the steeper your slope is. The more shallow the slope is, the further out your landing can go to achieve that 7-inch depth that I have of the 7-inch height at the end of that step. But anyway, guys, I hope this makes sense. It's a whole lot of pointing and talking to you guys about it, but I hope that makes sense to you. I just wanted to show you guys, I've been working on this project today. It's taken me, I don't know, I'm probably about 3 hours in right now as far as digging the holes in and stacking the wood, making sure it's cut all correctly. Now what I'm doing, guys, I'm doing all of my pieces, laying all my pieces in here in all these trenches. And then I'm going to go back with my screws, and I'm going to start here at the bottom and start screwing everything together. After that, they want to go ahead and put in some Blue Star gravel in here. Should look really, really nice in this area. But I am going to go ahead and pile all of my dirt in the dead center here, and then we will go ahead and level this area out so that it doesn't require as much gravel in this spot. There still will be some depth, so the gravel's probably going to end up being about 2.5 inches deep, and we will be putting weed fabric underneath the gravel as well, just to keep stuff from growing up in the middle of this. Guys, but that's the basics of how you do it. It's really not super difficult. I hope that made sense to you. You're going to get, again, 7-inch depth at the top if your step is 7 inches high. If your step is 5 inches high, then you're going to dig back until you reach a depth perfectly level. You see how the level's laying there? You're going to dig back into that trench until you have a depth of 5 inches. 5-inch step, 5-inch depth, and that'll determine how long your steps can be. And you can do the width however much you want, guys, if you have boards that are as long as you want. So you make that step as wide as you want it to be, you know, as long as you've got boards to cover that distance. But this is how you do it with 4x4s, guys. It's the same concept with other lumber too. It's the same thing. However, you know, whatever the height of your step is, that's how far you're going to dig in up above, and depending on the slope, you know. So anyway, guys, hope this helped. I hope I didn't just ramble on and on and on and you still don't get it. Some of you guys that are, you know, you're mathematically minded and stuff, some of you are going, man, we got it like 5 minutes ago, but you're still talking about it. But I'm telling you guys, there was a time in my life where I thought about this and I could not grasp it. It would not stick. And so that's why I'm going over and over and over it, guys, is because there are other people out there. We're all different. We all learn differently. Some of us are not going to be able to learn by me just sitting here telling and pointing. You'd actually have to come out here and do it. And I totally get that. But I'm just trying to make it to where everybody can understand how this works, because this is not difficult, guys. If you can use a shovel and you can dig into the ground, and you've got access to some lumber and some screws, guys, you can do this. You can put steps in at your place. My client wants the steps to start right here, and then they're going to cascade down into this area and right out to the dock, guys. It'll be so pretty. All right, so we have officially put all of the screws into this step system. You can see it goes all the way up the hill. Now, she wanted them. You guys can see that it's all over the place, right? It's not perfectly square. It's not perfectly straight. I will tell you, she and her husband are both engineer type people, and they see so many straight lines and stuff all the time. She said, I want something that does not have straight lines, that looks like it more blends in naturally to a garden setting. So that's exactly what we've done here. You can see we've got straight lines, but they are just, everything's different, right? It just all rotates in different ways. But anyway, you can see here, I have come down, we've got screws into the bottom of these that go into these pieces. And then on the bottom board, it actually attaches up here on this section. You can see the bottom board had a screw that was put in that attached to this bottom piece as well to secure it. But you can see, guys, we've put several screws into the top of these. There are 2 screw spots in each of the top of these side rails. And then we went ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them across each one of these steps, since that's where most of the traffic is going to be. But we went ahead and screwed all these together. And then after that, we came through, and on the sides, we went ahead and took the extra dirt. We filled in all of the sides of these steps all the way down, packed them in there nice and tight. And then we took all of the dirt that was here in these, and we smoothed it out so that it was even. And we smoothed it out in a way that we will at least get one of these 4x4 depths of gravel in each one of these. So we're going to put down a weed barrier liner underneath, and then we're going to lay that gravel in on top of everything so that weeds don't come up in here. But guys, turned out really nice. Again, give this a shot. You can totally do this. This is not that difficult, as long as you put some sweat into it and you've got a shovel and you can dig, a drill and some screws and a way to cut wood, guys, you're good to go. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys the actual finished product without the gravel and such. Now, it'll be a while before we put gravel in it. We're ordering all that. We're ordering it for several other of the walkways as well. So I might be able to come back later and give you guys an update of what that looks like with the gravel. But anyway, wanted to show you once it was completely built. I hope this helped. I hope this helped, and I hope you were able to understand what it was that I was saying. So anyway, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you would, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, if you liked the video, if this helped you at all, or this gave you finally the click moment to understand how this works when you dig steps into the ground, if you would, go ahead and hit that like button for me, guys. If you didn't like the video, you totally hated it, guys, please hit the like button. It helps us out a lot. But go ahead and put a comment down in the bottom how we could have done it better, what we could show you that would help the process if you're learning how to do this, and or if there's just something else more interesting you'd like to see, put that down in the comments, guys. I really appreciate it. But this is all part of our horticulture stuff, guys. You know, I'm dealing with somebody's garden. They want to put steps in. Honestly, it's going to make the garden look really nice to have steps in it with gravel. We're going to be doing walkways. I've already built the irrigation system here. I really want to show you guys how to put in an irrigation system soon. I will be putting in another one, and I will bring you guys through the whole process of doing that as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I have rambled on and on and on, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. But anyway, guys, if you know anybody who would need this, if you go ahead and hit that share button, I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully this helped, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Anyway, talk to you guys next time. Love you. Shalom under the dome.